Expecting for a T-side start here on Vertigo. And already they're straight to the slow, creepy stuff in the pistol round. Creeping over the grate. They don't know numbers now over towards A. And so Stair's got to keep jumping this.
But they're speeding up.
Yeah.
They don't care. Keo's leading the way.
Looking to go quickly here. Device going to open, and Stair, who was jump checking the top of the ramp earlier, just comes back over. Suddenly Astralis are amassing a lot of players looking over towards short, a lot more than GamerLegion were ready for. So even though they didn't get anything on the sound cues at the start of the round, Astralis keep everyone over towards this A site. GamerLegion gets sent packing. This is a great way for this to have started for Astralis.
Yeah, absolutely. It seemed like, you know, as soon as they had contact, they were just going to pounce on the A bomb site. And it seems maybe that it's a bit of a bait from Astralis, right? Like, Stair is just in a spotting position, probably suggesting that they're strong on the different side of the map, and he's just playing for information, but there was more players there, probably caught GamerLegion a little bit off guard. And also, I mean, you can see where Keo's is and where the ramp players, right? So it's a bit disjointed, but
kind of a cool little.
We know players like to call these pistol rounds randomly.
Yeah. Oh, I heard a little voice break in the celebration there. We're one round in, and already the voices, the screaming is at its limit.
You hate to see that.
I know, it's a whole BO3. It's a long day. You can't already be.
And here it's the mission of how do we get Nealon to get a kill? Well, not really happening.
Still, damn good day to be Device, right? Just gets to run down ramp, 3 kills off of his, bring this AWP out straight away.
It's really important in these rounds when the opponents go for a full eco, for you not to lose a single player, right? Because
that's why those games yesterday felt so weird, right? We kept having like the full eco rounds where you would lose like 3 rifles, and you're looking at it on the other side, and it's like, yeah, sure, you won the round, but did you really win? Like.
Yeah, exactly, because it ruins the money for 2 players. And now, even if Astralis loses this round and everybody dies, they can still have a buy in the next round. Device can have an op. If just one guy died, that would ruin the economy for 2 players, and your buy would have been way worse. You probably have to eco even.
A lot of these kind of fast, brawly rounds for this ramp control. GamerLegion aren't trying to take it slow here in their first rifle. They're wanting to really brawl for this control, and they've at least thwarted the attempt at Astralis taking that ramp control early. I like this little setup over in mid. BlameF has got a very deep angle there, and if they get out through middle, he's got a teammate underneath. They're able to play a bit of like a layered trade game here. It should be impossible to get out of mid without being traded if you're GamerLegion.
Yeah, and also, let's say if GamerLegion keeps applying pressure ramp, they can go for a double push. They can abandon the setup and just go towards the A bomb site. So that's fine. You always need to have an idea at the start of the round and then be able to adjust in the mid round. Device.
He's in a bit of a bad way, isn't he?
How is he still alive?
Oh, well, not for long. It's short-lived. Stair does what he can, playing over the top of the one-way. At least brings this back into a 3-on-3, honestly, considering the Device ended up in just the flat-out no-go zone. It's kind of reassuring that they've kept this even.
Well, he was going to set up for a more aggressive play, probably for deep ramp, but the timing just didn't work out in his favor. Borup now. Not really sure what was going on B, so preemptively uses the incendiary. There's only 20 seconds left, Harry.
Yeah, this is kind of mad. GamerLegion have got to go fast.
And Blame is there as well. He has an HE.
Astralis have read this well, and yeah, with the util having moved around, even 1 kill, even just slowing them down here for these players over towards B, could be the round win for Astralis. Blame gets that 1 kill, they're going to go grab the bomb, but it's dropped. Buzz can hide. If he can get away, he wins this round, and so Astralis, they steal it, and even tries going for the punish right at the end, isn't quite able to find it, but all in all, Astralis are very content with how that round goes down, I think. Played into the final 20 seconds for GamerLegion, and you know, the one downside to that is that everything kind of has to be flawless when those are the margins you're operating in. And BlameF and co just slowing down that B play proves to be enough. It's that kill from Buzz that seals the deal.
Yeah, absolutely, and you could see them moving in the mid round, right? Like just reacting to what's going on the map. Faster mid take now from GamerLegion, but Keos doesn't find the entry.
drawing board here. Oh, this is a really rough start. Okay, Yanka, talk to me. You go down 2 players early if you're GamerLegion. How do you try and get yourself out of this? I mean, what do you even...
3 players early?
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough, right? Sometimes you take these sort of risks when it comes to openings, and a lot of it can depend on one guy winning a fight or losing it, right? It's just a 1v1, and that would create a lot of space for GamerLegion, but if it doesn't work out, it goes the other way. But you have to go for those plays, you know, you have to go for some of those risks. Doing nothing is also a risk in its own right. You know, I think sometimes people aren't really aware of that. And, you know, players also call plays sometimes when they have a good spawn or in a good position.
Yeah, so it's the case.
And it can't be one of those situations where, oh, if he gets the kill, you're like, yeah, that's a great play, man, great job.
Yeah,
you know? And
right.
if he dies, it's like, oh, don't do that again.
Yeah,
so
I guess there's no such thing as like a fully risk-averse play. You're always managing and taking risks.
Yeah, it has to be the correct play.
Yeah.
And then if you don't get the kill, if it's the correct play, it's fine. You know, you'll get it next time or the time after that, right? I think that should be the goal with a lot of these things and these plays and moves. It's just like, does this make sense in this situation? If it does, then it's all right. And then you're like, if it fails, well, does this play need a little bit more utility to be supported? Like, can it work? Or what's the reaction if it doesn't work? Did we gain some crucial information, right, which will allow us, even in a 4v5, to gain an advantage somewhere else?
God, look at all the util on ramp, man. This has been such a focal point to kickstart this game. Astralis just playing behind these smokes, trying to flash through a GamerLegion, but they're going to go into this whole device. Opens up with the double on the AWP. And with BlameF now moving in, he might get wrapped by Acor here. Going to come down to whether or not Device has got his eyes on the prize here, and he will swap out to the M4 just in time. And I think, you know, with Acor falling, the kind of most exciting part of the round, him sneaking up through the gap. Gets cut out of it, and now it is just the clean mop-up for Astralis. They've done well at keeping these rounds clean early on, right? All of these rounds versus the Pistols have been very, very well done for Astralis, this time 4 alive.
You constantly need to think what has happened so far in the game, right? So GamerLegion first gun round sort of showing presence A-ramp, then cutting noise, then coming delayed A-ramp. There was some trade there. Second time around, they tried a faster sort of mid-take. So if you're Astralis, like, what do you want to do now? Like, how do you want to open the round? Well, you know, you're thinking maybe they won't go mid now because we punished that play last time around. So, for example, that can help you. Okay, so we can choose to be put more people on A or on B. I think GamerLegion might try to take some B control because they haven't been able to do that yet in this game. And you can see the deep smoke from Astralis. There's 3 guys towards B, right? Like, they're sort of anticipating that because of what happened so far in the game.
Man, the mind games start early, don't they? Just 6 rounds in and already having to build up
or they're back with the mid setup, right? Like a full heavy B mid lean.
That leaves the A-hole just down a stair, but with how things are looking right now, you were dead on. GamerLegion are wanting to try and challenge.
Right, but look at the reaction now. Here's the mid push. So we can't stay in this setup forever. You know, we can't leave Stair alone. He's used all his nades on A, and here's the information gathering. And now the round keeps developing for Astralis.
And with this info, yeah, they have pulled that second player back over towards A as well now, right? So it's no longer that Stair solo hold, as you say, didn't have any util. BlameF starting to embark on this flank. Device has even gone and cleared out, or sorry, Borup over towards spawn.
Oh boy, there's going to be a
BlameF has got the round right here, palm of his hand. This is it, Blame. This is his moment. 2 kills from the guy. Borup even gets involved in the meantime, and BlameF keeps harassing them in the backline. In that exact moment, Astralis claps upon them from the top of the ramp, and you can just see this net of Astralis players tightening over GamerLegion.
Right? It's so simple in a way. But you ask, wow, they had timing. Well, first of all, at some point they were going to move. Now, whether they move at 120, 115, 1.5, that could be some preparation. Maybe GamerLegion has some tells in their defaults when they group up. Sometimes it just, you naturally feel the flow of the round, some utility that's being used, and you just have a innate feeling for, okay, this is a good time for us to push. And they just they found the gap, right? Some other time a player's gonna be there and you're gonna die 1 for 1 maybe, but okay, you're still getting information for yourself. I feel like nowadays the meta is basically you just have to. You can't be in the dark. You can't play. So you don't. When you have information, you have more confidence because you feel like you know what your opponents are going to do, and you're positioned well to counter that.
It's always harder to fight the enemy you don't know. Blame F?
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. It was kind of like a riff off of your
Sun Tzu.
fight the demons you know, or whatever, last season from you.
No, it's like
deal with the devil you know.
The devil you know.
Yeah, that's the one. Kind of like our own spin on that, right? So,
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Chatty B observing right now. I hope that I'm
You're
doing
observing.
a wonderful job.
Was it you last round?
No, it wasn't. That was Rush.
Okay.
I'm watching.
So I don't have
Blame.
to give any more cues when something is happening.
No, well, you might. Vertigo is the hardest map to do this on. Here we go. Blame. Set up in middle. M4 in hand.
You're observing,
Eco
you're not
kills.
casting,
Coming his
relax.
way. How many kills can Blame get here? Is he going to keep the M4 in his hands? He's found the first and second bomb! Blame have got like a down!
Well,
just ruined
Dad's doing a great job there, as he's kind of the jack of all trades here. Someone else might have to be the jack of all trades for GamerLegion in this round, though. They've scavenged this one M4. They're trying to make the mid to be happen, but locked out as Borup and Buzz have them sandwiched in this crossfire. Astralis, they do feel like they've got a great read on the flow of this game right now.
They're playing really well. There's no doubt about it, but it's also GamerLegion to some extent. Okay, how do you try and break this momentum? You know, how do you counter what Astralis is doing? And it's a tough question because it's solid Counter-Strike. So in this situation, you know, when things aren't going well for you and you're spread out and maybe your players are losing duels, well, you have to group up a little bit more. Sure, you're in danger then of being flanked or being exposed. So maybe just, you know, brute force ARAM a little bit stronger. Just push the fight there. See, like, Astralis doesn't care. They're just repeating. This is the third time they're on this boost. And
yeah.
they haven't seen anyone on the boost.
No.
One time they pushed mid, so this is just their plan for the CT side. Must be this, to see that they don't use a lot of utility going mid, maybe. That's where this is potent, and also the boost.
I imagine to some extent as well, like you are getting a lot of tells even just from having that info down the sight lines in mid, right? The idea of, okay, there's no one middle. When they do that,
now they're 4A.
Yeah.
So that was just for a little while. Perhaps they have a tell, you know, if we hear something on ramp, if you notice more than 2 guys on ramp, they're not coming mid early. So you can just leave that position. I mean, Buzz is on an island. He's taking care of mid and B.
Which is crazy. This is almost like the...
And it's a great call because they're 7-0 up. They have a lot of economy. Like, they can do this. If they're wrong, they can just save and play for the next round.
Even look at where we're at in the round, right? GamerLegion have only just kind of tenuously started to get this top ramp control. You need to start the approach into this exec, right? And everyone's already wounded and low. Now they lose this opener. It gets made worse. Suddenly, this round is like, you would be looking to save here if you could, if you weren't so committed. But they're just going to have to commit into Astralis. This has got all the makings of another damn near flawless round for the Danes. And there's Acor finished off to close.
I used to like this map. Let's get it out of the pool. Observing that is the worst thing I think I've ever done. There was 9 players in the same quadrant of the map, and you can't even tell what level anybody is on. Look, Valve, get it out. I used to love it. Get it out.
It's the worst
now.
map in the pool by far, Chad. By far.
I'm leaving, boys.
Chad would be the
Rush back
most
in the jet.
opinionated observer for the one round. Like, that's more opinions than I've ever heard out of any of the other observers.
In their whole career.
Yeah, they
I'm
just
back,
kind of
I'm
deal
back.
with it. Yeah, thank you, Rush.
I mean, this
Bloody
map
hell.
does suck to observe.
Yeah, well,
I have
okay.
to agree with him.
Maybe
Ooh,
find some
up
opinions
ramp.
of your own.
Fast up ramp. Ooh, this one's working a little better. This one's working a little better for GamerLegion, a little looser. Ooh,
that's
weird
nice
timing for
from Kios.
Blame F as Kios deals with him, deals with that kind of point man for Astralis. Now, if you're Astralis, you're giving this a go, I feel like, every damn day of the week. 8-0 up, loads of money.
No. There's no need to throw your life away. Just do something that will help you win the game. So, okay, you're not going to win this 2v4, but try to maybe...
Do some damage.
Yeah, heal a guy or two if you can without losing your guns, but that's going to be hard too, so... Or a super late retake with Borg getting on the defuse if you have the smoke, maybe.
Oh, well, now I think the retake dream has died, along with Buzz and Borup.
Yeah,
GamerLegion are finally on the board.
I can understand the POV. They're 8-0 up, they have a lot of money, but there's still 6 rounds to be played. in this half. They can run out of money in this half, right? And 8-0 looks great, but 8-7 is like 9.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point.
Right, so you have to sort of have that perspective, especially when you're playing well, like when you're beating them handily. Like
yeah, you kind of don't want to give them that
the
route
hot
back
hand
in.
fallacy, right? But yeah, you could see like GamerLegion, just some extra pace on the half-by, catching Astralis a little bit off guard. You know, Device, when his rifle dies and he's in sandbags and they're rushing him, like he would have gotten maybe 1 kill and died.
Yeah.
He doesn't get any and dies. And Kios had a great, you know, understanding of he's the only guy coming from A-Ram. So he needs to play with his team, but if he dies too early, then Blame can just turn to everyone in yellow and buy time. So it looked like Blame figured it out and was just going to ignore Kios, and that's when Kios pounced. So that little micro moment was actually key. If Kios goes too early and dies to Blame, I think Astralis wins the round.
Are those like low economy rounds quite liberating in a way, because they take you out of, you know, when GamerLegion have been playing the rifles, they've been trying to be like very methodical. Everyone's thinking about their life very intently, right? You kind of don't want to be that first domino to fall. In the pistol rounds,
I think about
you
my
get
life
like a bit of,
intently,
you get a bit of a degree of freedom,
No, I know,
right?
I know where you're going with it. It's true, absolutely. You know, you're like, okay, we're not really expected to win this
Right,
round.
yeah, so it feels like the pressure's a little low, you're a bit wilder, you're going a bit more confident.
Yeah, let's see, they need to build on this.
One and done is not enough.
Again, no B presence really from GamerLegion. That's why Astralis is able to focus more bodies towards A, and he finishes him off with an A. I mean, Isak is on B, but he's not really applying much pressure. Look at the, I mean, you can't, minimap doesn't help you a lot here, as Rush and Chad has pointed out, but it's the mid setup again.
Yeah, and this is something that GamerLegion had yet to even encounter. Astralis have been pulling this out round after round after round, and finally Kios learns about that double mid stack.
Sorry, quick, Bas is there? Why is no one B in?
I even feel like that we're starting to see a bit of a development there. In the last few rounds, Kios has been late lurking middle more than he was doing in the start of this game. So I wonder if we're going to see GamerLegion try and piece together what's happening in mid, because I think from that, Astralis are almost getting tells as to what's happening in the round elsewhere. So kind of a cool like adaptation to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I mean, Astralis is pretty much running circles around GamerLegion so far. You could tell even that round, second, third gun round, right? It looked like GamerLegion wanted to put more pressure B, but that's when the deep smoke came from Astralis and 2-3 guys were there, and when Stair was alone on A.
Yeah.
So they're doing a great job of sort of having good reads. They're putting themselves early in like good spots where GamerLegion is coming, and they're getting either a lot of information or they're getting map control. I mean, you could see, how are they always there? Like, if you're rewatching this game and you're GamerLegion, it's like, wow, they were just leaving B for a lot of the time, you know, not really putting a lot of focus on it. And Isak now finds Buzz, top of the smoke.
So that's good. This is finally like an untraded opener for GamerLegion, right? They can just sink back into the 5v4 a little bit now. Wait and see, because, you know, we've already gone over how this team likes to default. Wait and see where Astralis pressure, and if they're fed any more of these opening kills. Looks like they want to just group for the B hit here. So not doing much waiting around.
You can see how Isak is, you know, he doesn't care about his life. He understands he needs to keep putting real pressure on these B players.
Oh, Barb's getting set up with a flashbang. That's going to allow him a free fight onto Volt. Can he get away with any more here? Barb, they're already up and past him. Turns to deal with them. Blame F mows them down alongside him, and this double Barb Blame B hold has been fantastic for Astralis. It locks out GamerLegion, so in spite of the fact they start this 5v4, they go into that double B hold, they get massacred. I don't really know how Borup, in amidst all that chaos, managed to stay alive for so long on Tetris. The flashes from Blame certainly helped.
Yeah, Blame has been doing a great job in that rotator position, being in the right place to support. This time just with the flashes, and there's an easy shot for Device to close out the round. This is more like the Astralis I expected to see from the start of the tournament, you know? That's why I was pretty confident they were going to be able to take down NIP, and I really looked forward to seeing them against Vitality, but all right, doing it in a slightly different way. And I think, for example, B Vertigo is a bit similar when it comes to help as B Inferno. Like, you could help a lot with just flashes. So you can be far away, you don't have to play 2B, but if a guy has 2 flashes and the B player has like a smoke to smoke himself and then play with the flashes, that can actually be you know, you can be on mid and still help the B guy with that. And you could see the flashes from Blame F. You were like, what's happening? Why is no one shooting at this guy? He's on the middle of the map, it felt like, but the players that he was dueling with were blind. The others tried to push the site and Blame took care of them. So some really, really good CT side play from Astralis.
We're back to another one of the low buy rounds for GamerLegion. Last time they just ran it straight up A ramp with this. This time, Device is ready with these dunk nades off the crane. Nice just to bring down these pistols as they move up through ramp. Soften them up, give Astralis a bit of an easier time here. It's also kind of sucked the pace out of the round, right? Even physically being slowed by the nades and having to get through all the util just sucks a bit of the wind out of your sails.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on
you.
Me.
I don't know how many times you have to be fooled for the shame blame to change, but...
Yeah, but they were not going to win the round the same way, you know, the same round in the same way 2 times. Astralis immediately with the counter util, and now once they've got rid of some of that, the round becomes way different.
And even, you know, getting to these points where you kind of, you know, you've got to take this top ramp control for you to be able to launch an exec. Dude, Blame's just destroying GamerLegion in this one, isn't he? Well,
you can see it's all methodical. Okay, they have pistols, they might try to do the same thing. Use your utility early. They did good damage, they got information, they were trying to get up A ramp, then it's like, okay, nothing's happened for 15-20 seconds, let's see what's going on. And then there's flash plays for Blame, he gets into the sandbags position, another flash, like everything makes sense, it's coordinated, right? It's team play. It's not random, and I think that's always a good sign when you see a team play. GamerLegion big T side, not really showing too much.
I mean, this ramp area right now is, you know, being like almost banana-esque in that it's just this utility battle, and it feels like Astralis are the ones winning that out so often. And I think that's helped by the fact that CTs do just have, you know, more options, such as the nades over the crane, right? There's kind of no way to nade that back if you're GamerLegion. And look, they're back to the double boost over in mid. This time, though, this time, Kioz didn't just see the layered, like, trade setup. He saw the full boost. So I wonder what that's going to do for Astralis. They haven't really seen anyone when doing that boost up until now. Ooh, love that from Device. He's been very active on this AWP. I mean, he's 13-2. You know, it's kind of unreasonable. I swear he bought that AWP like right near the start of the half, and it's just been the same one ever since.
It's a tough situation for GamerLegion, as again Astralis is on re-aggressing yellow again. This time Acre punishes it, but they see the bomb. 2 guys from mid, so this is going to get a little bit freaky, Harry.
It's looking like they wanted to try and go for a bit of like a mid-split here, but I wonder, 25 seconds, these mid players have got to start making moves now, and Kioz and Isak will do exactly that.
I have no idea.
Keeping the B players pinned in, yeah, but it's Kioz who's like the star of the round, or should be. Oh no, Blame F! How's he managed that? And if he can just stay alive, if he can deny this bomb pickup, he could rob the round. Acor finds him, takes the straight up fight. That is a damn good try from Astralis. GamerLegion do well to finally put another up on the board. They get that mid lurk off. And, you know, you can kind of see that round, I think, highlights why Astralis have been checking mid in so many of these, right? They were aware that the mid pressure was coming through. They knew that something was happening over in middle. But we haven't really seen GamerLegion dedicate too many resources to these mid takes yet. That was the first round they've done it. And it actually did a lot to disrupt.
Punched himself in the face if they lost that round. He had to have gotten that kill on Blame. But let's see if GamerLegion can at least get 4 here. That's a good start.
Ooh. And as Device tries to make matters a little prettier for Astralis, hoping he could get a trade, he's punished by that Acor AWP. Astralis kind of patching wounds here, right? That big bank of... Oh no, Borup has misread this. A bit of a lapse maybe in just how deep GamerLegion could have been up the ramp.
And they need to save this. Yeah, they really... Buzz needs this gun for the last round. Borup needs to drop to Device, and he can drop him an AWP, and then they're set. but all right. So for example, even this round, it was a good call from Astralis, right? Like they never did something full YOLO on ramp, so it was a good change of pace. Stair even Volt killed them blind, so you can't really be, you know, you're gonna be mad about that you died like that, but the play is fine. Device then trying to even it out immediately. Acor was holding that angle a lot of the rounds, finally gets a kill. I think this is important for GamerLegion, not only to make the score more even, but also just to start getting some confidence, you know, on the server, because a lot of these rounds, they haven't even been close to winning them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think when you spoke already whenever we cast these GamerLegion matches about how, you know that Nealon does like to go for these sort of default-looking starts to rounds, right? And I think when you're playing like that, you require winning some of the opening fights. And I think that's been a bit of a problem right now for GamerLegion. They've won, what, 3 so far in the entirety of this game. Pretty damn closely tied to the round timeline. Ooh. Okay. Volt's starting to get a bit more switched on. That's now his second opener in a row. It's immediately traded out by Borup, but 4-on-4, this is still one of the prettier rounds for GamerLegion, and they're going to take another scalp here. Borup falls at the top of the ramp. Suddenly it's BlameF having to move in and take matters into his own hands. Now they don't know about him tucked in at default. He comes as a bit of a surprise, but they're going to deal with him. And that leaves it just on Stair, rotating over from the A side of the map. He's a little ways away, and that's allowed GamerLegion to get deep here as he comes through, clears the close angle. Stair with one. That second player's a little far removed right now. It's just Kios in the sight, and Stair's going to take it. Now it's only Acor. He was late on the rotate. He was all the way over towards the bottom of ramp. And this was a 3v1. GamerLegion thought they'd done it. Walking that pixel gap is nerve-wracking, but Stair does.
Is he going to flank him, or just go sandbags? He knows he killed the bomb.
He's just going to play around that. Acor on the angle, ready for the swing, and so he will at least manage to pick up that nearly thrown away 3v1 in the 1v1 to deliver 4 rounds for GamerLegion at the end of this first half. Well, BlameF might be auto-muted in the server, but my god, he's loud as hell right now. 21 and 9 from him. Device coming in right behind. And all of that is just to really drive home a great half from Astralis, right? Over on the CT side, they put up 11 rounds. GamerLegion come in right near the end with 3 consecutive to manage a 4-round half. But Yanko, is that enough wiggle room for GamerLegion?
I don't think so with the way Astralis is playing. 4 opening kills, 4 rounds for GamerLegion. We'll see if they can do a better job with that on their CT side than they did on the T side. And already an opening kill.
Yeah, I like that for Acor. Ducks in, ducks out. Quick as he appears, he's gone. And with a man advantage to boot. Faking the plant for Astralis, seeing if there's any of these nades for this bomb plant.
Borup has the C4.
Borup has the bomb, and now he's in CT, which might prove to be problematic. Doesn't matter, everyone else is kind of dead anyway, but you could have had a bomb plant here if you're Astralis. Instead, they get completely shut down, and it's a flawless pistol for GamerLegion.
Yeah, I don't know. This must have been an adjustment. No, it might have been an adjustment on the fly if they heard the flank or saw someone on the flank, and then it was like, okay, try to, maybe there's more of them on the flank, and if we push CT and get the kills, we can go B, right? So maybe it was just an audible from Astralis that obviously didn't work out, but it was a chaotic round.
I like that it was only Borup that actually made it like towards CT out of the whole team. Like, he's just there alone.
I think also this is important for GamerLegion that there was no plant, and now they get a Glock to play against the Glock Eco. They already have 4 M4s. Here, Harry, again, it's crucial, especially with the M4s that they've bought, to not lose any guns.
Let's establish like the Yanko golden rule. Glock Eco, you don't lose anything, right? That's the requirement?
Yes. If you can control it, right? Sometimes maybe, you know, 5 guys show up on your screen and you get instant triple dinked and there was nothing you can do, but don't go asking for it. FO, Harry. No, FAFO. Don't do that.
Okay. Oh.
All right. Okay.
That's fine. It's nice. It's clean. It's 5 alive. The golden rules are intact. That's exactly what GamerLegion needed.
Right, because now the difference is massive. They have 4 M4s with all nades and an MP9 against 5 AKs, right?
And even if they lose, I think like the thing you were really driving home is just that doesn't like screw them over right at the start of the half.
Yeah, depends on if they save guns or not.
Yeah,
you can see the money, right? So they would either have to go for a half buy and then have everything they want in the round after, and we can see the boost again now from GamerLegion, or the setup mid.
Astralis are going looking for this same ramp control early. There's been that usual exchange of util, but Astralis have honestly come out pretty well from it. The only guy to take any util damage was Buzz, and he's over at B, just kind of defaulting there at the start of the round.
They did a good job of applying pressure and then backing off to not eat all the utility damage. Now GamerLegion with the re-aggress, so let's see what Astralis' call is going to be.
It feels like it's... I mean, they've left all the options open, right? They kind of have players on all the extremities right now. They've just given up mid, but they have, you know, B and A, both of these kind of areas where you stage the actual execs from. So it looks like they maybe want to fake this A site a little bit with the bomb having rotated back. But this is where GamerLegion are going to look to try and uproot that. Acor's gone aggressive through middle. Booster B is locked out. Buzz can't find a way in. And Acor could disrupt the whole round right now on his lurk. Like, this is mad. They're both knife out. That's the bomb away. Astralis thinking they're going to get a bit more respect than that. And so suddenly it doesn't matter what happens to these A-site players. There was no winning this round.
Is that the new OP setup, Harry? The mid setup and then just push in the mid round?
I kind of like it. I kind of
what no one's
it.
accounting for. What's happening? Same thing we saw in the first half from Astralis now works for GamerLegion. It did seem like it could go either way for a second there as Acor's going down. Borup was looking for it a little bit and not. So good timing from Acor to push there. And again, no plan for Astralis. You can see right in this game the big difference. Actually, it was the same in both halves. You know, T side, if you don't plant the bomb, you know, your economy isn't much better than the CTs. It's the bomb plans that make the difference. So it was a Glock eco and now a Deagle eco with no utility. Only a couple of guys got Kevlar. So this is going to be, you know, a really difficult round to win. You want to do some damage if you're Astralis because the economy is already starting to get pretty good for GamerLegion. You don't want to be in a situation where you need to win 3 gun rounds just to get them to play with some pistols. You know, that's tough. When they have a lot of money in the bank, they have a lot of options in freeze time, what they can do. So it's more difficult for BlameF to call around, really, from that position. You have to account for everything.
They're just going to try and follow through with this this B play by the looks. Without the util, you know, you are just hinging on winning the opening fights here. And that's not really worked out for Astralis.
All right, now you have a go, Buzz, and then you Device. 1 by 1. Okay, 4 guys here.
And they're getting flanked. So Astralis is screwed.
And
Device
kills
even
Buzz.
kills Buzz to lend a bit of a helping hand as though GamerLegion needed it. But now we have the guns coming back out. I noticed Device was saving for his AWP, so wanting to bring that into the mix as fast as he can. There still isn't one for GamerLegion. With how successful these early rounds have been, they don't have the need or the space to even buy that AWP up. So for now, Device doesn't have anyone AWPing him on the other side.
All I'm saying, Harry, it was 11-1 for Astralis. This is 7th round in a row for GamerLegion. Some more B presence from Astralis. That's a big one from Stair.
That's a very confident opener out of Stair. He tries to keep flexing over towards ramp. Bites off a little more than he can chew in that head-to-head V-Volt. So Astralis had the man advantage, but not for long. Gonna try the nade stack over onto the Tetris. This will find damage to isak, and even more than that as a third nade rains over for a main. That's a triple nade stack to secure this leverage over the B site. And now Nealon trying to be the difference maker. Oh, that's a nice spray for the double. BlameF with the response, and with Device still in the picture alongside him, this one's going to fall to Volt in the retake. 1v2, the bomb slowed right down, and Device just goes and does it alone. This guy does his own stunts. Astralis up on a 12.
Swaps out for an AK after getting the kill with the AWP and catches Volt off guard. Really important kills there from Device. Looked like Nealon with the spray transfer was going to get it done for GamerLegion, but Devis steps up. And the kill from Stair was really important in the beginning because they have 3 guys towards B. So it's pretty much Stair there with only Device initially to support them. And GamerLegion doesn't have that information. So they just know, oh, there's a guy that was sandbags, you know, close ramp. So that's going to affect the rotations. And meanwhile, Astralis is still just slowly working B. The triple nades, perfect on spot. So let's see now. We were talking about GamerLegion. Look at their economy. Even if they lose this round, they can still buy the next. For Astralis, though, if they can't string consecutive rounds here, this game is going to be really close.
Does the lack of AWP here for Device, the fact that he wasn't able to grab it in time at the end of that last round, does that influence the Astralis opener here, do you think? Because obviously, I assume now you kind of have to leave ramp back to Stair again and hope that he can sell this. You don't have that AWP to hold the long sight lines.
Yeah, it certainly does, and you can see that the call is to go mid, and that's actually exactly where Acre is posted up, so we'll see if some utility comes out from Astralis before they try to move past this point.
See, holding mid from elevator can get tricky with this boost. There's, you know, barrels that can be spotted, elbows that can be seen depending on where the contact comes from. Acor just ventured out a little wider there. Gets the info that there's more players in mid on the back of that Molotov. Blame's just waiting, hoping that someone creeps into his crosshair. Nealon is here. It doesn't feel the urge to go seeking over in mid. 5v4 makes GamerLegion feel pretty comfortable here. They've given up a lot of room at ramp.
They got the info back on mid, so now they're going to be rotating back. We'll see what Wall decides to do. He's probably just waiting for his team. They gave up a lot of space. And there's not a lot of utility left in play.
Stair's in a really weird position. They shouldn't know he can be here, but only one kill found. Kios nearby in the elevator. That at least splits the defense up 2-2, so Astralis are not out of this yet. They've got to check quad. They've got to check the back of the site here because Isaac has not moved the muscle. He's going to swing out, executing one, getting the bomb away from Astralis with so little time left. That is very important. The nade rains in. Even more chip damage onto the planter. And Neelan tried to finish it off in the spray. His teammates back him up every step of the way as they swarm over the site. And so GamerLegion do not let Astralis celebrate for long. It's a one-and-done round in the last for Astralis as GamerLegion immediately reply.
An important plan, though, for Astralis. I think that will allow them to buy again. But it's an interesting game. You see a lot of, you know, space being traded in the mid-round and applying pressure, then leaving. I think a good idea for Astralis might be whichever area of the map they decide to take, they fall back and just wait and then go back again. You know, whether it's A ramp, whether it's mid, sort of just wait for that reaction for GamerLegion and try to catch them as they're re-aggressing, you know. It's a bit hard to hit that timing, though.
Oh, that's nearly beautiful for Device. A lot of damage done to Volt. This is cool, sneaking out through mid. They're ahead of Neelan on the timing. That's awkward for Neelan. And so now they're flooding over into the B site. Isaac's got to get a handle on this, but there's a second man. Borup right now has a kill on a platter that could tee Astralis up for the round. He's carved a path into this B site. So even as GamerLegion rotate over, they've got util to thwart the plant, to buy them even more time here. Volt's tagged up from earlier on, that skirmish with Device at ramp. So with the plant coming in, this first fight is weighted pretty heavily for GamerLegion.
There's a smoke on Blame to block right side generator again.
That's removing even more options for GamerLegion, and as they've let this timer tick on down, that smoke is not good, so they're going to reply with one of their own, trying to let themselves move into the site here. But it's into the killing fields as Borup will shut them out. Spammed even lower, but he's still alive, and it's just a numbers game here for GamerLegion. They can't justify this. They're looking to get out with the guns, and not even that's guaranteed. Borup gives chase. And so the response from Astralis proves to be immediate. A lot of room found by those mid players. A lot of that just coming down to the kind of timing, right? Neelan was watching mid, but he was kind of jiggling it from CT, so they just hit this fortunate window.
He was in B with Isak, and then once the fast push from Device happened, he started rotating into CT to go towards A. Then they probably called A that was just one guy, so that's when he wanted to check for mid, but he lost the timing, right? That's when Buzz and Borup already snuck through, and that really left Isak alone on an island. And this was Astralis half buying. It was just a hero AK. Really, they didn't decide to go to, all in. They wanted to have probably an op on Device, all the utility, and they have it now. And that really, you feel like for GamerLegion, really sucks to lose that round. Could have been 12-10. Otherwise, we were talking about how their economy is strong and they can still buy here, but this is it. This is pretty much all of their money being spent.
And this Astralis pause, is this one of these pauses because they know that this round essentially could be the whole game for them in a way, right? Like, you know, they break the money finally, this GamerLegion squad, if they win it. So paying a bit of extra
it's an important round.
Yeah.
They can get much closer to victory here. If they lose it, it's not done yet, but...
What? What? Oh my god!
That helps.
Device! There wasn't even... we need that one again in slow-mo at the end. I'm just like making that known. That's remarkable. What a way to open the round for Astralis. Device has had enough. He wants this one done. He wants it over. Bloody hell.
They'll take those. So we'll see what the reaction now is for GamerLegion. 4v5, not much utility left. Do you try to gamble stack here? They're still pretty split. I think they have to sort of at least play 3-1. And if they guess wrong, you know, then you save, because Astralis is still not on match point. You can see Isak leaning towards A as well.
Oh, the late mid lurk's coming back out. Astralis have really identified this as something they can exploit, they can use against GamerLegion. Device is looking for even more, and hell, I mean, with the start of the round that he had, I got full faith in him to get it. Might not even need to. The mid-lurk's fantastic, and Neelan's run down. Astralis just fall in from all angles, from middle up ramp. They hold short. They've got everything under lock and key there, so a really, you know, nice round considering the importance that it held, right? GamerLegion are broke now, and Astralis are feeling like 15.
He saw him. He saw the look. See, he sees him before the smoke.
Like, that's
pop.
mad, right? Like,
but still, the flick is, yeah.
And like, I know he sees him, and like when it's in slow-mo, sure, I'm like, yeah, he's right there, but that's just how Device sees normally. He's kind of like the Flash or something.
Yeah, it has to be a USP eco now.
Ooh, 1 kill. And the golden rule is don't lose any.
A little bit labored. Blame is on 5 HP. I think this is just a formality. No need to chase Isak. For the AK, really, they'll have a buy in the following round anyway. It's 15 match point.
See, that's how you know you're watching Pro CS, because you get into this 3v1 and Stair didn't immediately run through elevator, hunting all the way to B before the bomb's even up in the site, right?
Or that's just blame with 5 HP and try to kill the last guy. And then,
yeah.
You know, drop the bomb there behind the smoke and a guy with an AK.
Oh, they do want to try to remove it. Device will. Doesn't let Isak take anything out of the round. Couple of kills found for GamerLegion is all well and good, but it's all for naught if they can't put it up here. They've at least got kind of everything they need. There are some limitations, actually. No kits for GamerLegion.
No kits, only one incendiary, so...
Kneeling without a smoke either. He's just got a nade.
We'll see what they decide to do. Maybe they should have sacrificed a little bit of the guns for better utility.
Yeah, my one worry with the util they've got is it's going to be hard to slow a round down, right? And when you don't have kits either, that feels like it matters. Oh, Acor with a bit of his vengeance here, down towards
Blame
ramp.
entering.
Blame leading the charge. He spotted the man out on Gen, looks for this opener. Will manage to get it. The rest of GamerLegion are flooding over the top of the connector. Neelan lines up a double. That's the bomb away from Astralis. Buzz can't find a thing, and it's just Device. All alone over in middle. And not really a hope in the world to win this.
Yeah, I think probably, I mean, the best for him would be to save here if possible. And I don't think GamerLegion is really going to give chase, right? They also need to look after their economy. Astralis, a lot of money in the bank. That was a great reaction from them. You know, it felt like they gained way more space than maybe they should have, but the double kill from Neelan really turned it around. So we'll see now. It gets a little bit interesting, right? What are the adjustments going to be in this round? GamerLegion sort of left B and focus more on A and on mid. So if you're Blame now, you're thinking, okay, if they're going to do that, let's just put more B pressure. But you're also thinking, well, they didn't do it last round. Maybe they're going to do it this round. So maybe let's just do the same thing because they won't have people there now. So that you always have those things where it can go either way and mind games, and then it comes down to a little bit knowing the opponent and what their tendencies are and also what you believe is strong, right? And stick to your own principles, right? And that way, sure, even if you're wrong, I mean, there's a good chance you won't lose the round outright.
Would you say that, like, you know, what with being 15-10 up, you still kind of have like a 5-round buffer, right? So is the time to get a little more, I don't want to say experimental, but like trying new things, is it better to hit that early?
Not experimental, but what you can do is be stubborn.
Right, yeah,
one
okay,
round.
yeah,
so you can keep doing the same thing, and they're going to think, oh, we stopped them 2 times. Surely they're not going to go there for a 3rd time. But if you go and it works, it only has to work 1 time, Harry. Stare 1 time. Do it now.
Let's hear it for Stair 1 time. Let's see if he can get this opener. Just something over towards ramp. It was, you know, actually how Astralis started to even get back in on this T side was just him having that wild round, running up ramp and drawing the attention away. He kind of tried his hand at that again here to open up this one. Now they haven't had mid control. They're playing pretty passive back. Buzz, ooh, that's awkward. He'd been watching that angle for a long old time, and it felt like it should have been his.
The radar.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where it's like, and then you die and you think, why'd I look at the radar then, man? Like, why?
I mean, isak gained a lot of ground here. I think, though, Astralis is aware.
This is kind of scuffed, isn't it, for Astralis? Even the fact that the bomb's been left back over towards isak.
It's pretty scuffed.
Gonna get retrieved, but will it survive? No. Borup now dead. The bomb away from them. Device thrown into another one of these clutches. This time, it starts as the 1v5. He's just going to throw the AWP out. Looking to do a bit of damage here at the closes Device, but they're already in at the bottom of ramp, and so he's walking into a crossfire.
Let's fucking go!
Yeah, Kios. Let's do that.
The thing I always like about Kios is he will yell like that.
It's crazy how loud the guy is.
Yeah,
when we were at Gamers 8, I went to that concert, and he was there with Neelan, and it's like, it's a concert, and you still hear this guy screaming super loud. It's like, wow.
The thing I just love is like then when he refocuses and like just looks back at his monitor, you know, like he's like readjusting the glasses. He looks so calm and chill. There you go, look straight back, no messing around.
Yeah, so GamerLegion stepping up a little bit. That, you know, push obviously on B and isak getting the kill on Buzz. That's round defining pretty much. So we'll see. This is the last timeout for Astralis that they've used. Seems like another half buy. Blame goes with the AK. They won one of these previously. And what's worked for Astralis outside of just straight up getting some entries, you know, and just playing the numbers is some like fast sort faking fast stuff to create space. It seemed like GamerLegion did bite on that a couple of times. So we'll see if maybe that's something that Astralis decides to come back to, or just make like couple of small changes to the default and how they want to fight for ramp.
I hope we see a bit more attention from them over on mid as well. I think some of their prettiest rounds were where they had like these kind of late activating mid lurks, right? And I think it removed some of that info or at least route options for GamerLegion in the mid round.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, it allows for a lot of space. But when you're thinking about these things, what you can adjust as well, sometimes it's easy to lose track of how does this map work? You know, what's the fastest way to lose a round on Vertigo? Well, the fastest place they can get to is B, right? So while you're thinking about, oh, maybe now we should do this on A and everything, if they're coming up ramp, you'll have advanced information. And at least even if they come up to the site and do an execute, you still can do counter utility spam through the smokes, right? But if you're playing weak on B and they brute force it and sort of get the site, well, then it becomes really, really tough.
Well, right now it's just the isak shooting gallery. He's had a couple of these actually over towards B where there's just no util. It's dry fights up ramp, and he feels more than comfortable there. Like this is, we're watching isak thrive right now. 3 in the round from the man, and last time this happened, you know, he did exactly that, and then we had Neelan kind of rotate in and help him out. So that's the exact response again. This time the boost employed. That adds a little bit of intrigue. Borup has found some room. Now, they never saw this third man get to quad. They're also getting flanked again. So every single time it's ended up in these stalemates at B, there has been this net closing around Astralis, and slowly but surely kind of choking them out on these sustained B hits.
All right, now we get the AWP back on device. AKs across the board. Almost full util, but let's say it's full util. They're missing 2 nades. So what is the plan here for Astralis? Let's check it out.
Device has had a good spawn for ramp, so he looks like he wants to kind of get posted early with this AWP, try to beat the ramp fights to these timings. It's allowed him to cross all the way over to the left, and so now he's got a bit of a power angle for sure. He's looking through the gaps there, but yeah, there we are. That's what he was hoping for. Rewarded.
Opening on A, opening on B.
Oh, this is like the dream start to a round, isn't it? You went out, you sought 2 openers, and you win them both. Device is continuing on this path, and GamerLegion are up and leaving, trying to get ahead of the call from Astralis here. They kind of have to gamble, right, when they've lost 2 players early.
This is the beauty of having a player like Device. You know, so I don't know if he had a sound cue, but I wouldn't be surprised if not, and he's just feeling it and sort of walking, expecting maybe something like this. And look how he walks
He's on
up.
the AWP, and he's in CT.
Exactly, right? But that's what guys like that can do, you know, Simple, him, Zaibu, Nico, like they're so confident and have such great game sense where they take that sort of a risk, and it's not really a risk, and that's it. Game's over.
Yeah, this is a done deal. GamerLegion are left like scratching their heads. They were all over towards this B site. The only tell that they have that this game is done and that this map is taken away from them is the bomb has been planted, and at that moment their hearts sink. They know that it's a done deal and that this comeback has been stopped in its tracks. Volt, this is really just for style here. He's going to get locked out right at the end, and so Astralis, they do manage to pick this up. A couple of key openings from Device, a great game out of Blame F. This one had all the makings of a banging series.